Hello everybody, this is the first part of my blind playthrough of the Ace Attorney fan case, Curiosity of a Turnabout. Unfortunately, this first part is not blind because I had to re-record since the audio was messed up the first time I tried to record this. But it doesn't matter too much since I hadn't got to the investigation yet, so I'll just go through the story up until the point that I got to last time, and then see you in the next video. Keep in mind, the potential is our most important asset. How to hire a place to read, for existence amounts to very little. I am not going to change my mind, Doctor. I told you why I'm not going to use it. There's even the tiniest chance. My daughter told me about an interesting old saying. No risk, no reward. How fitting. See, we're taking risks like that instead of our ancestors. Can you really still say they're risks worth taking? Made it. What a joke. So many people died. If I hadn't hesitated, if I hadn't stuck to that... Doctor, make sure to at least keep your promise. Three months later. April 23rd, 8:04 a.m., Linus Sky's house, study. Woman missing. That hasn't happened in a while. Police are likely to have a busy day. Hey Linus, do you know what time it is? Alright, we can look at the newspaper. We see a Guardian Force member went missing. This is the guy that's murdered. Wall was broken 3 months ago by some... Because, you know, there's like aliens or something outside the wall, I'm not sure. And they just repaired it. They just finished repairing it. But people are still distrustful of the government. Someone has been stealing dry ice for some reason. Oh yeah, and people in this universe have... This is a post-apocalyptic universe where everybody has a superpower, basically. And so there's like a murder, and you have to figure out how people have used their powers or whatever, I don't know. They call them spells. And 3 years ago, this guy Jack killed a bunch of people with his deadly spell that kills anyone he looks at, and then just the weather. So, as far as I can tell, there's not much of note in the newspaper, other than, I mean, I guess some of this could come into play later, but yeah, this missing guy is the murdered guy that we're gonna try to solve the case. Alright, back to it. Time for more of those poses nobody understands? Yeah, in other words, my time. I don't think so, Ray. Impossible. Could his power level be high enough to... I need to do something about this girl ruining all my mornings with that excess energy. 3 months since that incident. Things have returned to normal, is what I'd have loved to say. Actually, a lot of bizarre stuff has happened following that catastrophe. As I'd promised, I'm now taking care of Mr. Ference's daughter. She is quite something. Not sure if it's a failure as a parent on my part. I've never had to do it before, but when I picked her up, she didn't even seem shocked or sad about her father's death. She's off in her own world. Belle is probably the cause of that. It allowed her to distract herself. Now she's running around using what I presume to be antique mannerisms. Me? I've been doing fine. Back to conducting experiments. Now that I'm able to use my spell again, there's been some decent progress. Of course, as I'm saying this, things are about to majorly derail once again. Hey, what are you reading there? Didn't you use your spell to figure it out? Baka! I need the number of the newspaper for that. Oh, I knew that, of course. So the all-embracing grimoire can't even let you read the daily newspaper, huh? Hashtag rude. I can read every written document ever. Provided you know the name. Come to think of it, how do you know the names of whatever it is that you're wasting all day reading? You hear that guy? You can't even see this much. I suppose the power of guest detective is beyond today's mortals. I knew that much as well. There's no way anybody would keep actual records of the stuff you turn up. Oh, there's something stuck between the pages. What is this? This is a letter. Just a letter. Actually, no. That's Seal. It's the seal of the Great Guardian. The Great Guardian? Well, I probably shouldn't ignore the correspondence of our most important citizen. Let's see what he has to say. Ooh, shocking. Interesting. You already took a look just now, didn't you? The fact that she can just guess the name of the document she wants to peruse is quite handy. Elementary deductive champion, my dear Watson. You basically just tried something like Letter from the Great Guardian to line its sky, no? I'm starting to see the pattern here. This specimen has quite predictable behavior. Did you hear that? He called me a specimen. Small words from a small being trying to attack what it doesn't understand. Yeah, I should probably take a look at how parenting works. This can't be normal teenage girl behavior, can? We live in a world with strange, variable parameters. Well, allow me to read this shocking letter myself. Murder case? That's odd. Odd? Isn't it like just another murder? Not sure where you got your info from, but crimes like these are very uncommon these days. Considering our situation and who's guarding this town, this really shouldn't come as a surprise. What are you explaining that for? We don't have time to waste. We're on the case, detective. Detective? You mean? Nah, looks like most of it is still supposed to be left to the police. However, the Great Guardian wants me to act as an attorney for the accused or something. Must be special circumstances. Attorney? Yeah, we don't really have any real attorneys around anymore. I guess that's why he's coming to me with this. Wait, we don't? But why? Attorneys are awesome. Well, it's because of the prosecutor. An evil prosecutor that killed every defense attorney in town? No, not quite. First of all, it's not a prosecutor, he's the only one we have. That's because the Great Guardian simply doesn't need anybody else. In fact, he's so good that trials are generally considered pointless. Trials? Pointless? Objection! So he didn't really kill the defense attorneys. Only in an abstract sort of sense. They just quit their job on their own after realizing there's no point. All of them. What is this prosecutor's power level? Anyway, looks like now there's a special situation. And for some reason I've been called on to get to the bottom of this. I suppose my contribution to that incident has made my reputation go up somewhat. Never no real idea of what an attorney is supposed to do anyway. Well, since it's from a great guardian, I should probably get around to it. No worries, I know exactly what attorneys are supposed to do. Really? So you didn't just read useless stuff after all? That's right, I know exactly what it takes to be a case attorney. First of all, you need a female psychic. Don't worry, I'll fill that role. I am already doubting your sources. Now, it's time to investigate. I'm pretty sure attorneys aren't supposed to do that. On the other hand, the letter mentioned I'm allowed to go into the expedition to the crime scene. An expedition, anyway. It's outside the walls, so it's a little dangerous. After all, we could run into some of them. All the places for a murder to happen. Outside the walls? I'm guessing the missing person mentioned in the newspaper must have been them. Shouldn't we meet the defendant first? Well, the expedition won't wait for us. I'm sure they'll fill us in sufficiently and let us talk to them later. Gotcha, it's crime scene time then. The fact that I'll have to put up with this the entire day scares me already. I can feel it. This is going to be a fantastic day. Well, time to wrap up my morning and get on the job. I don't want anybody to say I don't take my assignment seriously. I should head to police headquarters. They'll hopefully know how to prepare me for this. Alright, so we get 3 profiles here. Me, my power is to combine any 2 things into something new, but only 1 combination at a time. This is Ray. She can read any document as long as she knows the name. This is Ray's father, who's dead. He can change any object to a different object, but only inanimate objects, only for 5 minutes, and it had to have equal mass. Examine the room. Pretty much all the scientific books in town. I remember gathering all of these. Pretty hard to still find good copies. I have to preserve what's left of this ancient wisdom. So, what are you trying to figure out here anyway? How to put this into words Ray will understand. Well, this is about trying to make a thing do a thing. And how that affects other things relative to it. Highness, I'm a noob. Dang it. Well, if you insist. I'm trying to fine-tune a device that helps me convert gravity into information. What? Well, you know how you know where the ground is? This is due to gravity affecting a sensory organ. It seems easy enough to me. Why are you even researching this? Just drop a pencil. Probably not worth trying to explain why that won't do. Sure would love to just find something relevant to the case in my own house. We can present something to her. Good, excellent, wonderful. What? Trying to present random stuff to me. Not bad, rookie. You're starting to grasp the essence of this job. I was just... never mind. What now? Seriously? You already forgot? There's a crime scene waiting for us. Oh, right. Any ideas yet? I've figured out that the mastermind is the flashlight. No clue on the murderer yet, though. Not sure why I even tried asking. Alright, we can go to our laboratory, because we want to check it out before we head over to police headquarters. My lab. Normally, I just go to work here. I guess I still got here by force of habit today. Where are you looking? We need to get on the case. Right. Later, dear lab. My lab. Sadly, I don't have time right now. Spare parts. I need to be careful not to damage these. I'm taking these. Too heavy for you. No chance. I'll be back after an 8-hour grinding session. Just you wait. Linus, this substance looks suspiciously like blood. Yes it does. I think you owe us an explanation. This is, well, artificial blood. You know, like real blood, except I made it. Whoa, you're sure you're not a vampire then? As I just said, this wasn't taken from any human or anything. Sadly, it's rather tedious to produce, and human bodies would most likely still reject it. Which makes it useless as a replacement for blood transfusions. I donate to vampires. Guess I lost her at blood. She's in full vampire mode. Linus, just what is this ominous device anyway? Like some kind of brain preservation tank? Surprised you identified its purpose. What? This is actually something like that? Well, yes, in theory, the brain should be able to be preserved within this container. The problem is getting the brain inside the tank, of course. Still considering how that could be safely done without, killing the person in the process. Doing it with my spell is obviously too risky. Alright, you're clearly making this up. You think you can fool us? It's obvious this is actually a transformer. That doesn't sound any more plausible. Sorry about that, my phone went off. Alright. Now for another meme. We can conduct experiments on evidence. Decent idea, but not right now. You can present stuff randomly. No talking to be done. So, go back to the study. Go to the police station. April 23rd, 8:34 a.m. Police headquarters entrance. Awesome! What a huge building! So, this is where the murder took place? Investigating this is going to be quite the task. No, this is not the crime scene. A murder happening here would be pretty bad, in fact. It would make the police force look completely incompetent. Incompetent police? First time I've heard of anything like that. Couldn't even stop a murder in the chief's office. Hashtag true story. But there's no way something like that ever happened. Hey, Linus, over here. Quick on the job like always, aren't you? Well, the deadline is tomorrow. I kinda have to, don't I? True. But don't pretend this doesn't interest you. You're always in the periphery when something curious like this happens. Who's this? Adrian Despery, detective. Probably the one in charge of this thing. About the kid? Don't tell me you intend to bring her along to the crime scene. Insisted. Don't worry, she might be annoying. Oh, cause trouble. Besides, her spell might be useful for looking up some things. Well, if you say so. How's that parenting going? That silence tells me everything. Guess I can't trick a cop. It wasn't difficult to guess. They're hard to handle, they say. Good luck. Real tragedy happening. Wouldn't wish that on anyone. Progress, not incident. Nothing. Afraid we're stuck. It's obvious some kind of spell caused it, but frankly, it's hard enough to imagine some bastard potentially invading the entire town. But that's not what we're here for today. Right. Well, I've got permission to share all the info. Yeah. Go ahead and ask that. Alright, so nothing really. It's a pretty nice building. That's it. That random stuff. Pretty sure presenting random stuff to people is not part of this job description. Hey. Alright. Here's Adrian Despery, 64 male. He's lead detective, but we don't know his spell yet. Alright, he's talking. Let's ask about the victim first. Who's dead? Well, who went by the name of Titus Runnels. Any bells? What? Ida. He was a rather important member of the GF. Guardian Force? Those fellows that are directly responsible for the old Guardian well-being. Curious. Most people aren't supposed to go down easy. Definitely should. Especially this guy. Still, it's quite something. Nobody could have taken this balance of funds, that's for sure. Well, do we get to know? So you really haven't heard of him? He is pretty much the most well-known of. Well, I consider switching newspapers. Still, familiar history allowing me to see into the future. The future? You heard me. Not that far, of course. A spell like that comes with a strong limit to it. Yeah, the stronger the spell, the stronger the limit. What would a spell have the ability to destroy the world? Probably be so many limits that it simply wouldn't be worth it if even possible. I wonder if Linus is worried that his spell could destroy the world because of that intro thing. Also, someone is making sure they're balanced. Oh, don't tell me you're also one of the conspiracy theory. Nah, just saying it might be worth looking into. I still don't really understand it now. There's still records of the time when people weren't born with these. Those creatures weren't around either. You're free to look into it in your free time. Right now, I'd appreciate it if you focused on your job here. Oops. So, what's the limit? Right, he was only able to see 10 seconds into the future. Well, that's still better than nothing. Yeah, maybe it wasn't enough here. Someone who can see infinitely into the future would probably be impossible, provided they don't allow it. 10 seconds? Couldn't entirely surprise me. Now we gotta profile this guy. Ugh. Now, I also kind of wonder, like, can he change the future, or can he just see it? If he sees himself getting killed, is he able to stop it from happening? Guess we'll find out more about it later. Well, aside from that, it should be fairly doable. Alright, let's talk about the trial. So what's the deal with this trial? I'm not entirely sure myself. The old Guardian isn't quite satisfied with what's been turned up so far. Curious. How does leaving all that work to our prosecutor? On my take, I'm pretty sure it's because of the suspect. Best ask about that later. Well, it could also have to do with the fact that the last incident is still unresolved. No one kind of went nowhere because of the lack of suspects, no? Can't do much when you've got nobody to suspect. Yeah, we simply found nobody that could have done it. Now rumors are spread that someone from outside is responsible. Outside? That seems rather far-fetched. Whoever it was definitely used some sort of spell. It was done by a human, not one of them. It wouldn't be bad if they suddenly developed this kind of ability. I guess we'll learn more about them later. I don't know much them or why he knows it wasn't one of them. But there you have it. Tiniest bit of doubt on our prosecutor's ability. Good old Guardian wants to make sure this time. He wants you to go up against our friend in court. See if there's any hidden issues. Have fun. Think I got any chance of finding an issue? Well, I've yet to visit the same person. But you know who we're talking about. You're pretty screwed. Right. I was supposed to give you this. What's this? Basic spell rules and laws. That's pretty common knowledge, isn't it? You'd think so, but a surprising number of people aren't even aware of these. It can't hurt to check if you're rusty sometimes. This boy doesn't even know the basic laws of this world? I know these. I'll you out and demand you recite them yourself, but y'all know you're just gonna instantly look them up and pretend you're fluent in them. Oh, you know? That's how I cheat on tests in class. No, that's kind of smart, I'll admit. I mean, at the end of the day, all that counts is if you would know these things and why. What you do isn't that different from searching your memories. This girl has terrifying potential to appear smarter than she is. Hey, are you gonna take it or not? Sure. Well, I guess I'll follow the investigation and try to do my best. The current project is still going to take some time and testing anyway. Now we can check out the book. Bell, Special Psionic Energy Lifted Liberty. Each human is born with an inherent special ability to manipulate reality in ways that are not explicable by modern physics. Develops between 6 and 18 years of age. Never two humans with the same spell. Timing of onset varies. Sometimes it changes as part of growing. Spells have existed for about 4 centuries, but before then they didn't exist. Nobody knows why. The spell ability is a pro, which can be anything, but there's a con to sort of balance it out. Cons are the limitations. There can be multiple cons to a really strong ability. Large scale use of a spell leaves the user mentally exhausted. The mass of a house tends to be comparable to sprinting at maximum speed. It can be trained. Let's see. Spell can't be separated from its user. For example, when someone with a spell to swap anything, it can just swap the spells and two people do not work. Spells can be duplicated. Each person can only have one spell. Spells can be destroyed without killing the owner. So basically, one person, one spell all the time. Laws. Any citizen is responsible for the effects caused by their own spells, even if it was unintentional. Anybody can keep the specifics of their spell private unless good reason is present to assume it's relevant to a crime. Police may not try to force someone to disclose their spell without explicit permission from the Great Guardian. All humans have the right to leave and enter safe haven, provided they let the gatekeepers keep record of their names, but it's forbidden to bring anything that did not originate from the town back inside. Aside from that, anything that happens outside town is not subject to laws and prosecution unless it is a direct crime against one of our citizens. Of course, this has to be in there, otherwise the murder that we're investigating wouldn't be illegal. So yeah, now we can ask about the defendant. So, who's the killer? You're doing it wrong. An attorney needs to believe in their client until the bitter end. It's their greatest weapon. Look, these guys are better at this job than me. It's next to impossible they got it wrong, to be honest. But I guess you're right. My job here is to play devil's advocate regardless. Doesn't mean I have to actually believe them. We'll see where this takes me. Pure science, the best approach. The defendant is a boy called Nils Gitt. A teenager? Didn't the crime happen outside the walls? What was he doing there? Looks like this lad was the victim's apprentice. His spell was considered valuable enough to be eligible for the Guardian Force. Still seems a little reckless to take him outside. But I suppose he's the one that came back alive. True enough, but I wouldn't be envious. The boy is clearly in denial about what happened. Tried to hide from us, he did. When can I meet with him? Maybe after our little trip to the crime scene. Feeling questioning at the moment. Certain someone is trying to get a proper confession. I couldn't be a killer. That's probably what the Great Guardian thought as well. Old guy is getting soft, sending a letter to someone to try and save the kid. Me? I've seen more depressing things. Sad to say, but it must have been him. Well, looks like I'll have to disagree for the moment. Alright, so the supposed killer is 16. We don't know his spell yet. Am I doing it right yet, Mrs. Expert Attorney? Now that we know our two main actors, probably time to talk about the crime scene. So, tell me exactly what happened out there. Funny one as always. Like I know that yet. Well, we do have a pretty good idea of what went down where in general. The victim was in the middle of some kind of investigation out there. The defendant was willing to share that much. All of this happened last night. Going out at night, kind of risky. Well, they were headed for the city of ruins in the west. More reasonable than if they were to say the ones near the factory in the east. Sure enough, despite their glowing eyes, haunters can't see all that well in the dark. Yeah, it wasn't one of those that did that. It was his own apprentice. For some reason, he attacked him out there. Heard it was a real ugly mess. He apparently decapitated the guy. Decapitated? How did that teenager even manage that? What kind of weapon was he using? Looks like some kind of blade was secured nearby. It's still at the scene, so you'll get to see it soon. So they headed for the West Ruins due to some investigation carried out by the victim? And his apprentice just pulled out a sword and beheaded him? Truth can be bizarre sometimes, but as far as we know, that's what happened. Even a witness currently questioning. A witness? Out there? Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. We're double-checking it right now. Yeah, that seems pretty suspicious. Especially given the way Ace Attorney games seem to go. I'm sure you'll be able to talk with him once we're back. Only one witness? Probably the real killer. There's no way that's an actual pattern. Not always. Sometimes it's the attorney himself. Sure, I confess. Truly the Dark Age of the Law has still not ended. Dark Age? I won't ask. Well, I'm sure the crime scene will answer all your questions. Is it really safe to go there right now? The area is secure, as in we made sure there isn't anything dangerous nearby right now. We don't know how long we'll be this lucky, of course. Suppose we better hurry and get a look. Alright, go on ahead, I'll be right there. When I woke up today, I did not expect to be heading outside of all places. Oh right, one last thing. They wanted me to give you this. Is it really the famed attorney's badge? Pointless formality, of course. I don't really see any reason to have this. Take it! Take it! The badge is sacred! Without the badge, what are you even fighting for? This girl's a funny one. But hey, she's right. No reason not to take it and feel a little more authentic. Got nothing on my police badge, of course. Note to self, the badge is a more serious business than I thought. Why are you putting it in your pocket? You're supposed to wear it on your lapel. It would look really weird on my coat. Besides, keeping it in my pocket seems slightly more fashionable. He's defected to the dark side. I took it, be satisfied. Better just move on and head for that crime scene. If we present more random stuff to him. So, how are you? Seeing better days? Murder is no common business, and we already had our hands full. Seriously, why did everyone suddenly decide to become a criminal? Considering what happened 3 months ago. Yeah, probably yours to yours as well. Well, we can catch up later. Let's focus on getting out there first. That's the badge I just gave you, isn't it? Is there something wrong with it? No, I just wanted to let you know that I am currently a lawyer. Linus, are you pulling a fast one on me? Well, the truth is, I have no idea why I showed you this. Gee, maybe it's just a thing the badge does to you, huh? I don't know what lawyers used to be like, so I can't say. Haha. Hope that's not true. I have better things to do than show this thing around. Alright, that's it. That's where I got to last time, so save, and I'll see you next time. We can start the actual investigation.